Hello, my name is Seidelmann, and I am making this video to help you understand a little bit more about how shamanic healing works and kind of what the process is if you were to sign up for a shamanic healing with me. And it might be similar to how it might go with somebody else, but this is really just how I work. So first of all, what is shamanic healing? Just to get that straight. So shamanic healing is really working at the spiritual aspect of a problem. So, when you think about traditional medicine, you go to the physician and they're typically treating the physical aspect of a problem. So either restoring a chemical imbalance, or maybe there's a vitamin that's missing that they, prescribe for you to take so that balance is restored to your system, usually by some physical mechanism. And of course, often really great physicians and nurses and PAs will also, be open and compassionate and present, and that can also help you to heal in the spiritual sort of aspect, because it's very comforting and that kind of thing. But shamanic healing really is completely working in the non-physical, so in the spiritual aspect of whatever's going on with you. So whether it's a physical illness, an emotional thing going on, a lot of grief or depression or anxiety, fear, or maybe just overall, confusion. I have a lot of clients that come for shamanic healing who are experiencing sort of vocational confusion, for lack of a better term, not sure which way to go with their gifts and talents. But whatever the situation is, the process is the same. So essentially you would either come to my office, and it's lovely if you can do shamanic healing in person, because I think there's something fantastic about being present with somebody in 3 dimensions. So if you don't live, if you're looking to get a shamanic healing, I would definitely check around in your local area. If you're not located near here, to see if there's somebody who you can see that has that you've heard good things about, that you can work in person with. The other option is to work through Skype or FaceTime to do a virtual visit. And this works as well because we are working sort of in the spiritual realms, which are out of time and out of space reality. So it really, the work can still be very effective. I just think it's really nice to be in person. And there are some aspects to the work that are kind of sensed, like, burning sage or feeling the wind of a feather on you, and different things that it's just really nice to be in person. So I always invite people to come in person if they can. The first thing we do is we spend some time talking about what is going on with you and what your intention is. So starting to formulate an intention for this work if you don't already have one. And some people worry, oh my gosh, I've got so many things I want to talk about, I don't even know where to start. We just start, and oftentimes we can get one intention out of a whole sort of series of things that are going on, and get really clear about what it is you'd like. Maybe it's more peace, maybe it's to be guided on your path because you're feeling kind of lost and in the dark. Maybe it's to have yourself restored and, to be who you are again, to be whole again. But I would help you with that. And I always tell people we don't have to get it exactly straight and perfect, because the spirits know what's in our hearts and what's going on with us. And that reminds me too, like, if you're skeptical about this kind of work, that's okay. It's okay to be skeptical, but you definitely want to come with an open mind and open to the possibility of this work. Otherwise, probably might not be very valuable for you to come. But you don't have to be like, sold on the idea that this work can be effective. And then once you've gotten clear on what your intention is, and then we would move upstairs into my room where I have you lay down, get very comfortable. If we're working on Skype or FaceTime, at that point I'll invite you to lay down on a bed or a couch and maybe cover up with a blanket. I'll have you have a glass of water and select a stone, or bring a stone, provide a stone of your own, if we're working virtually, that you can hold in your hand. And then we will, I'll start by calling all my loving and compassionate spirits, and I do that by rattling. And so I'll be rattling for a while, and then I'll have you do something with a stone, and eventually I'll pick up my drum and I'll drum, and I'll just be asking the spirits, hey guys, this is what Susan is asking for. You know, what is it that you recommend for her? And they typically will give a couple different forms of healing that they suggest. And typically there's some sort of balance being restored to the person. So again, either something that's lost is being returned, or something that doesn't belong is being removed. And there are also some other healings that I don't list. If you want to learn more about some of those different types of shamanic healing, just go into the section in the website called Work With Me, and if you scroll down, you'll see the whole section more extensive on shamanic healing. And I'll always ask you, is that something you want to proceed with after I tell you what they're suggesting? And if you're like, yep, let's go ahead, then I would do the healing work, and at the end I would ring a bell 3 times, and I'll say something like, Susan, your healing is going to be complete when the spell is done ringing. And at that point, you can take all the time you need, and we can, after that, discuss, you know, you can ask questions, you can share what your experience was. And usually the process takes about 90 minutes, sometimes less, sometimes more, but usually I just have people set aside 90 minutes so that we're not in any kind of rush. And then we just see what happens. You know, I always suggest people just do 1 session of healing and see what the results are. So if you're curious or you want to ask questions, please, you know, you can contact me through the above in the menu. And you can always book a short appointment that's complimentary, just to talk for 10 minutes to ask questions about anything I've said or any questions you might have. So I hope this has been helpful to explain a little more about shamanic healing, and I send you blessings. Thanks for watching.